by Bar Council Constitutional Law and part of the My Constitution campaign. This series of talks, conversations with the Constitution, is a part of the larger My Constitution campaign, which the launch will be on the 13th of November.
Carry on, don't
So
stand.
it's conversations with the Constitution is a part of a larger series of lectures, talks, forums that we have on the Constitution. And this is a part of the My Constitution campaign, which the official launch will be on the 13th of November 2009. So you're all very lucky because tonight is actually the first installment of Conversations with the Constitution. To start things off, I invite our moderator for tonight, Mr. Anand Grover, to say a few words.
Thank you. Welcome. Salam. We are very fortunate to have Anand Grover here tonight. Thanks to Melina who suggested this as well. On the issue of the right to health, just to put it in context and a bit of background, in the Federal Constitution, we don't expressly have a clause which says that people have the right to health. So it's been interpreted a few times to mean that the right to life in Article 5 should also include the right to health, in the sense that the right to life is not just mere physical restraint, trying to be free from the physical restraint, but also the facets, the different facets of life and quality of life. So some of the cases have gone one way, very conservatively. We don't even have a right to a passport in the white form. Recently, Justice Gopal Sriram, sitting as a federal court judge in Lee Kuan Yew, has reaffirmed this position in Tan Teck Seng to say that Article 5 also includes all these other facets of life which make up life, not just trying to be free from physical restraint. And I think that's a positive development in our jurisprudence. That's the constitutional position at the moment. Malaysia.
What does the right to health say? Now, this is quite important in terms of text, because a lot of lawyers here, and even non-lawyers, it talks of the right of everyone to enjoyment of the highest and the standard of life. Now, what is the meaning of everyone? It means literally everyone. There cannot be any discrimination. You can't have migrants, you can't have foreigners being treated differently. This is very important, and today we met the Human Rights Commission here, and one of the issues that they raised was, what about migrants happen? The international law mandates that everyone has to be treated equally. Now, for me, I worked in HIV. We have seen a lot of discrimination against sexuality minorities, people who use drugs, homosexuals, etc. And their right to health, and their access to the right to health is denied because of various reasons. And the international law, particularly this covenant, actually mandates that it's everyone's right, nobody can be discriminated. It also talks, I'm not going to go into everything, you have time, you can read it up. But one of the important things in sub-article 2 is the creation of conditions which are important. And these creation of conditions are physical conditions like clean water, clean air, etc. But also, very importantly, what are called determinants or social determinants of health. In other words, if there's inequality, and inequality is rife in every society. There is no society on this earth, unfortunately, which can boast of development to such an extent that there is no inequality. Inequality is rife for lack of access to fundamental rights, and particularly the right to health. Now, for example, take a case of a young girl in Johor who's not gone to school. Okay, will she know about sex? Will she know about anti-retrovirus? Will she know about same-sex? Can she actually negotiate same-sex with her husband? Big problem. Because of inequality and power imbalances, the right to health is denied to communities. And it's the duty of the state to make sure those social determinants, namely inequality, is removed. And without that, you can't really realize the right to health. Now, one of the important things that is talked about, because the way the international covenants were drafted, there was a distinction made between civil and political rights and economic, social and cultural rights. Civil and political rights were supposed to be realizable immediately. They were enforceable at law in court immediately. Economic, social and cultural rights were enforceable progressively. They are progressively realizable. But that distinction has really been dumped by a lot of the constitutional courts, including the South African court, the Brazilian court, our Indian court, which says very clearly in different judgments, which I'll refer to later on, that right to health, which is now considered to be a part of the right to.
Thank you, Anand, for that very good presentation. In getting to judgment, which you say is limited by government, I want to find out, aside from the lawyers, what kind of other advocacy pieces do you have? Was the media on your side, and so on? I want to find out what was it like a plan, campaign, and how did you get the judgment going? I didn't understand the last slide where you said there are petitions. Are you saying there are counter petitions now to turn over the judgment? Sorry? Yeah,
Appeals.
Sorry?
Appeals.
Appeals to turn the judgment to. Oh, I see. And who are the people? And what was the sort of the other force, meaning the people who are against this judgment? Who are they? And how did you handle? How did the civil society, take it? And was this particular judge known for his progressive? Or was there? It was a special because it was a special judge.
I think this.
Dr. Now from the Society of Ecology for Health. In this case which comes up in India, were there religious inputs for or against? Because there are so many, in fact I think more religious groups in India compared to Malaysia. And here in the present scenario we have a lot of religious groups trying to come into the whatever goes up. How do you handle that, or how does India handle that?
Okay. But the right to health is not compromised in a conflict situation. It becomes even more important. In Tamil situation in Sri Lanka, the critical question is the right to health. So, delivery of health services is compromised, and that can't be violated. So, there are so many complaints I've made. And then I had to go public in a public statement in the press and the government, which is a very close friend of mine, became not a good friend of mine, and I became a persona non grata. And recently, a group has invited me to Sri Lanka to talk about various situations, and the government is they're not happy about the idea, and I think they will probably deny me a visa, but I have to do my duty. But just to emphasize, in times of conflict, the right to health and other fundamental rights, most of them can't be compromised, except certain by the necessity of legal war. We can go into that, that's a different situation. The right to health can't be, and especially civilians, there's no question of that. Well, in democracy and media, etc., that's a very important question. What happened was that great, oh yeah. Great. Great. Not a contemplation. Thank you very much. It's great. Great to meet you.
Thank you so much.